This video is about what I'm putting in the storage box. I am making my own custom onboard air system. This is my MORRflate PSI Pro system. I already started doing a little bit of work on this. I drilled a couple of holes here for where my placement of the battery terminals are gonna go. Now I know this compressor is not gonna pull too much, but with the length of it running all the way back to the bed, I wanted something just big, fat wiring, something I didn't have to really worry about. The PSI Pro is showing me at 31.7. We are gonna set this to 36 PSI, and once we hit on, our compressor will start to pump up. What is going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. If you're new here, my name is Chris, and right behind me, this is the Fortune Taco. This is gonna be the second part of a little video series I'm doing. It's just a 2-video series, nothing crazy, but I'm currently in the middle of filming another video, so I'm kind of doing 2 videos at the same time. If you wanna check out the first video that's related to this, it is gonna be on the JD Fab bed box. Had to cut a hole here in the bed, and once this is assembled, this is one back piece. These two sides go together and makes a nice little cubby in this back wheel well here. This video is about what I'm putting in the storage box. I am making my own custom onboard air system. This is my MORRflate PSI Pro system. This is gonna get mounted in here along with my own set of terminals. I have a big chunky positive and negative here that are gonna get mounted inside this box. I was originally gonna just take the power wire off this, cut it, and hardwire it. Well, I did reach out to MORRflate. I kind of asked them if they had some type of solution for that, if I was able to replace this and just put some ring terminals on it, like if they sold a kit. They told me no, and if I did any tampering with this, it would void the warranty on the compressor. Not that I'm too worried about warranties, but if I screwed this thing up, I'd have to go buy another compressor. I didn't want to deal with that, so I came up with another solution of just adding my own battery terminals back here so I can keep all this system factory using their regular battery terminal clamps that come on the compressor. Just gonna clamp those onto here, and then boom, we have a working onboard air compressor. And an added bonus, this will pretty much be a powered secondary battery terminal system all the way back here in the bed. Have you ever gone to jumpstart somebody, maybe they're on the side of the road and you have to flip around and face them? If using the front of the truck is not accessible, I'll be able to hook up jumper cables right here in the bed of my storage. I'll be backed up right to the front of someone's car, jumper cables, boom, jump start, good to go. I already started doing a little bit of work on this. I drilled a couple of holes here for where my placement of the battery terminals are gonna go. And that also aligns with the side piece here. As this comes in here, you see those 2 big round holes. That's where the battery cables are designed to come through this box. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish up getting all this assembled. I wanna get the compressor mounted in here. I wanna get these battery terminals mounted up in here, and then finish up the wiring process. I need to run some power wire up to the battery, get the circuit breaker installed, and then hopefully get a chance to test this thing out and see if my onboard air works. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what kind of setup you have for onboard air. I haven't seen very many people doing it in the bed of the truck. Or if you don't have an onboard air system and you would like to get one, also drop a comment down below and tell me what ideas you have or what plans you're thinking of for adding onboard air to your off-road rig. So the MORRflate originally came with this metal base plate that was on the bottom. The 4 corners of this had some big rubber feet. So when this is sitting on the ground, it doesn't vibrate or anything like that. So I'm reusing all of these rubber washers to hopefully help the vibration reduction in this system as well. All of the brass hardware and all that, all the metal hardware, I went and bought all new upgraded hardware, but I'm reusing all these rubber washers to hopefully help dampen the vibration when it comes to mounting the compressor in here. Those rubber grommets are kind of just sandwiching between the base plate of the actual compressor and the storage box. So hopefully that's gonna eliminate any type of rattling or vibration noises when the compressor is on and engaged. All right guys, so now that I have the compressor in here, it is mounted in the bed box. We have our battery terminals mounted up in the bed box as well. I'm gonna be getting this thing tossed in. I'm not gonna cover too much of it because that's gonna be part of the bed box video. But once I have this in, we're gonna pick back up on getting the wiring of this done. So I need to do positive and negative up to the battery and then we can hopefully test this thing out and see if the new onboard air system works. So now with that air compressor all installed in the truck, our next task is gonna be what some people call daunting, but doing the wiring. It is definitely something I enjoy. It can be tedious sometimes, but I like a good clean wiring install. I should have enough to go back here. This was a 25-foot roll. I used it, maybe about 3 or 4 feet of it for another project, so I should be plenty fine. We have our crimping tool here, so we can apply all of these connectors. This is a cool little mount from Power Trays. This J-hook replaces the J-hook on your battery, so this actually attaches right to the front of your battery. It gives you the ability to add 2 100-amp circuit breakers that'll mount directly to your battery. I feel like I already have too many wires and leads going to my positive, but we're gonna be adding one more today. I wanna try to fix that up and do better power management here, or cable management. So if you guys have any recommendations, what you're running on your vehicle, if you have a lot of positive leads going to your battery, what does your setup look like? Drop a comment down below. I'm curious to know what you guys are running. That plate I was just showing you from Power Trays is gonna mount on this front J-hook, so it'll be pretty much right here at the front of the battery. So we have to wire from here all the way back to the bed. So I've got the power wires connected to my back terminals here, and they're all ran to where they need to be. After doing some testing, I was fortunate. That bolt right there, there's this little spline here coming off the bed. There's a bolt that is a factory ground, which is connected to this beefy wiring harness here. I was able to connect my ground there, so my ground just runs from the bedside right here to the chassis. And yes, if you can see, the wire for my ground is red. That was kind of done on purpose. So I had, if you saw my red and my black wire ended up being longer than the red, and the red was not gonna make it to the engine bay. So I had to flip-flop my wires. So as long as I know it, it's fine. Colors are just an organization thing. So I have that red wire as a ground going from inside the bedside to the chassis. The black wire as power. I already have it ran all up underneath the truck into the engine bay. The last thing we need to do is get our circuit breaker put on here, wired to the battery, and then we're good to do our final test and make sure this whole system works properly. So this silver J-hook here supplied by Power Trays is gonna replace the factory J-hook on the battery. And then the nice thing is all of these holes in here, they are threaded into the metal. So we need to just place whatever circuit breaker side we're gonna use, does not matter. And we're gonna get our circuit breaker screwed onto the Power Trays plate here. Now that we have that screwed on, we're gonna go move to the engine bay to get this installed onto the battery. All right guys, so it's finally complete. After plenty of crawling into the truck, getting lots of dirt in my eyes, we have the onboard air system all set up and ready to go. So I already told you about that ground, briefly kind of talked about the power here, but since I have it installed, I want to show you that new Power Trays bracket I was telling you guys about. It mounts directly to the J-hook here on the battery, and we just have a cutoff here. So I will pretty much always leave it in off. That is with the power tripped. So when I'm just driving around using this thing on a normal day-to-day basis and I don't need air, the circuit's gonna be disconnected as long as I don't need to use that air system, because there's no reason to have power run into that constantly. Just by the little flip of a switch there on the bottom. Now when I go back to my Morrflate, we should have power going to the compressor. And we have the LED screen turned on. All right, now I already have my Morrflate quad hose system connected to all my tires. We're gonna connect the hose here. We're showing 31.4 on the quad hose system. The PSI Pro is showing me at 31.7. We are gonna set this to 36 PSI, and once we hit on, our compressor will start to pump up. All right, now that the compressor has turned off, we are showing a 36 pounds here on the PSI Pro. And then if we go to actual quad digital scale here, just a little over 36.5. It's actually kind of evening out here. 36.4 we're showing now, just a little bit over, not that big of a deal. I have been wanting to have an onboard air system on my truck for years. I was thinking about putting it up under the hood. There's obviously a lot of heat up there, so if the compressor is nice and hot after a trail day, that could cause it to not be as efficient. there's mud and there's dirt and all that kind of stuff up in the engine bay, so that could cause this to break down and wear quicker than it normally would, not exposed to those elements. And then after doing some research, just one day looking on the internet, I found this bed storage solution from JD Fabrication. Now that I have this onboard air system, I am always gonna have a compressor on my truck ready to go. If you guys have any questions about the JD Fab bed box storage, drop a comment down below. Also make sure you go check out the video of that installation. Or if you have any questions about this Morrflate PSI Pro, I haven't really done a video covering this thing. Drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have about this video, something related to this install, or anything in general about my truck. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. It helps this video be more successful to get seen by people just like yourself. And last but not least, if this is the first time you've ever seen one of my videos, maybe you've seen a couple of them, but you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead, click that subscribe button. You'll be able to see anytime I release future content right here on the channel. Thank you guys for sticking around all the way to the end. I appreciate you, and I will see you on my next video.